Music does play a role in patriotism because it gives patriotism a voice.
As long as there's religion, there's music. As long as there's patriotism, there's music.
I think music is probably the chief form of showing patriotism.
It's always been a huge part in this country's history, you know, fight songs and battle cries.
So often we might not remember battles or the particular events, but we remember the songs that bound us together as a people.
It's all about the emotion. If you're singing a patriotic song, you better feel it.
Music is a wonderful form for anybody to express their emotions and to receive healing and hope.
It's the universal language. It's one that everyone can relate to.
Especially after this past year and September 11th, people really wanted to hear all their old favorite patriotic songs. It was comforting, it was soothing to them.
I'm grateful that we have that in our nation, and people can look to that for comfort and those little reminders of who we are and what we enjoy each day of our lives, the little things you probably take for granted most of the time. But patriotic music is that reminder for us.
I think that we all are a lot more united. We're a lot more together. I think that after September 11th, we all took kind of stock of our lives. I know I did, and I took a moment to put in perspective, you know, things in my life. And just, you know, I remember that day after it happened.
What's my favorite patriotic song? Anytime anybody sings one, whether it's our military people or anybody from little kids on up. Whichever one it is, if it's about America, that's my favorite one.
Those songs express things that everybody feels, but they don't, you know. That's why we have poets, is to put our feelings into words.
Learning about crafting a song, you know, the key element as well, deal with human emotions that are universal, and love and being hurt, and certainly patriotism, especially since September 11th.
And we all love our country so much that a musician that's inspired like that is naturally going to want to leave, or some of them are going to want to leave a song behind or something behind that tells how much they love their country.
Patriotism and music go hand in hand because it's part of being an American. You know, it's part of being a true part of this country.
Patriotism is a love of your homeland.
Patriotism is an emotion that's universal to probably all nations, but particularly Americans.
It's sad that something so devastating had to take place, but you know, from that, you know, we got something wonderful, and that was just unity within our country.
America's stronger right now than we ever were.
There's a more of a unity, and it's kind of like we're all starting to realize that we are all on the same team.
Patriotism is a commitment to your country, a commitment to uphold the values.
Freedom of speech, the freedom to go where you want to go, to do what you want to do.
I'm always a defender of that, regardless of if I agree with what people have to say or not. We're blessed to be able to express ourselves in any way we want to.
And I think America's always been a place where musicians could do exactly what they felt like doing. You know, that's why you had guys like Elvis Presley and Bob Wills and people that weren't afraid to try new things. So I think in that respect, that's why music is patriotic in the United States.
It's unbelievable the power of music and what it can do, and the feelings that come with patriotism and patriotic music.
When your beliefs and everything that you are comes under attack, then you know, part of our human nature is to, you know, rise up and speak out for what you stand for.
That kind of music, you know, uplifting music is addressing, you know, the best part of who we are as humans.
The next song you're going to hear is entitled United Through It All. It was written by Steve Malden, Mike Allen, and Randall Bain.
Well, the inspiration for the writing of United Through It All came because Randy Bain, a friend of mine, had been to New York and visited the Twin Towers only days before the terrorist attack.
And as I was watching the events unfold, on television the morning of 9/11. I was on my way to the Gospel Music Conference in Louisville, Kentucky. And I was inspired to stop on the side of a road, and I penned the original words to United Through It All on the back of a bank statement.
Randy and I were to meet up in Louisville for a music conference, and when I got there, he was anxiously awaiting my arrival so that we could start working on taking something that he had created, some poetry from, related to the terrorist attack, and start working on that and see if there was a song in there somewhere.
Our intentions for this song was to be a blessing, whether it was in the country market, whether it was in the military band market.
We stayed up all night, working on the lyric and put the musical, developed a musical concept. Early on, the song sort of took on a life of its own.
We've had a wonderful privilege of traveling across the United States, listening to our piece, promoting our piece, and conducting.
The field band and Soldiers Chorus has probably been our biggest break with the song, is that they heard it very early on and just loved it and sort of made it a feature piece in their concerts.
The patriotism that has been displayed at the concerts and other events that we've been a part of has just been overwhelming. It makes me proud to be an American.
In the harbor, Lady Liberty's darkest day, terror rose against our land and evil had its way. We witnessed two strong towers as they came crashing down. Innocent lives were sacrificed in rubble on the ground. As we closed our eyes in disbelief, scores of thousands fell. Horror of this picture in the midst of all this hell.